Central Oregon Community College, providing our community with credit classes toward degrees and jobs, support for the arts, continuing education and business development to help businesses and employees, short-term training to upgrade job skills, community learning for personal enrichment, and skilled employees for business and industry.
Find yourself at Central Oregon Community College!
Hello, I'm Ed C., a staff member from CLCC's Information Technology Department, and your host for Visions of the Northwest, presented by CLCC. In this episode, we'll travel into the Three Sisters Wilderness and climb the most challenging northeast route of South Sister Mountain via the Prouty Glacier. We'll explore glacial and rock formations of this magnificent peak. Our route starts at the Green Lakes trailhead, takes us past rushing streams and waterfalls, half-frozen green lakes, steep snow-covered slopes with spectacular views, and finally we get to the summit of the mountain where we've got a 360-degree panorama of the Three Sisters Wilderness. And of course, we invite you to discover even more about these amazing places through exciting classes offered by Central Oregon Community College, where you can stay close and go far.
The Cascade volcano known as South Sister, or Charity, is the third highest peak in Oregon and one of the most popular peaks to climb in the Cascade Mountains. During the long summer days of July and August, it's not uncommon for over 100 climbers a day to ascend the relatively easy route up the southern slope. You can meet as many people here on the southern slope of the mountain as you might in downtown Bend during the holidays. However, for those who'd like a little more solitude, a bit more of a challenge, and perhaps a little more danger, the northeast route offers what experienced mountain climbers consider to be the best route up the mountain.
All right, let's go have some fun. Here we go. Okay, day hike up South Sister, going around the backside up the Prouty Glacier, backside from here. Soda Creek, maybe. Up we go. Got a bit of snow still. Middle of July here, Green Lakes Trail, headed up to Green Lakes.
Winter refused to let go of its hold on the land, and even in the middle of a hot day in July, much of the trail to Green Lakes was still covered in ice and snow. Spring-like conditions were still the norm at the higher elevations. Here, the river finally cuts through the snow, and once freed, the water cheerfully roars between the snowy riverbanks. Crossing the river turned out to be no easy task with this late snowpack. One step further, and Ed risked breaking off 2 meters, or about 6 feet of snow, hanging over the river's banks. Preferring not to take a cold bath this early in the hike, Eugen and Ed continued on until they found a snow bridge to cross further up the watershed towards Green Lake.
Fortunately, it's fairly thick where you're standing, Eugen.
Despite freezing temperatures in the morning, the vegetative cycle begins anew as the tender catkins of Eastwood's willow, or Salix eastwoodii, welcome us on our way up the drainage.
So the plan is to go across well, I guess that'd be the west side of Green Lakes, over to the notch that's just on what I would call the right-hand side, but north side, and then up the Prouty Glacier to the summit of South Sister. And it's July 9th, believe it or not.
Finally, we arrive at Green Lake, but the area was still covered with deep snow. It's hard to believe it's the middle of summer as we slowly make our way across open fields of crusty, sun-capped snow.
We're at the very base of South Sister now, that way. Broken Top, Mount Bachelor. Perfect day. We're actually standing on Green Lakes, the very fringe of it. And we've got to go that way to go up the Prouty Glacier. South Sister.
The climate around Cascade Mountains seems upside down. It's actually colder with more snow at lower elevations than it is near the summit on days like today. Flowers from the anemone genus thrive in the microclimate that surrounds the dark volcanic rocks. The dark rocks pull in the sun's energy, melting the snow and creating pockets of colorful gardens around them.
So we're up quite a steep stretch here on the northwest flank of South Sister, and directly over that ridge there is the Prouty Glacier, which will let us get to the summit.
As the slope increases to 40 degrees, we put on our crampons to continue climbing. To get to the beginning of our route up the mountain, we hike around to the east side of the South Sister. It's a long and steep walk in deep snow, but the excellent views of Broken Top, Mount Bachelor, and the entire Green Lakes area makes it worth it. Dark, hybrid mixtures of basalt and andesite columns rise through the snowfields as we ascend the Prouty Glacier.
Looks like we have a ways up to go, though. This is a large rock that, because it's on top of everything, clearly came down very recently. Not today, because you can see the snow. So, great big rock. And we're up above Green Lakes by a long shot, heading right over to the Prouty Glacier still. Here we are at the what we believe is the first part of the Prouty Glacier. You can see it right there, quite clearly a glacier. And our objective, of course, in the distance, South Sister Summit, with a fairly steep pass of the glacier going up right through that rock over there. So we'll be taking a short lunch break and then just a quick sprint right up through there. Maybe not a sprint. If I don't catch it all over the rocks. That's the reason we have these, is we're going to go there.
Okay, so we're ready to climb, and after the lunch we're going to start to climb right now. And we're climbing, climbing, climbing.
We're on the Prouty Glacier, South Sister. Yeehaw!
See you there!
Prouty Glacier.
As we climb higher onto the glacier's ice field, the keen eye observes we are not the only living creatures on the ice today. At only 1 millimeter in diameter, tiny iceworms can be seen as they migrate up to the glacier's surface. Iceworms are found living in glacial ice from Alaska all the way south to Oregon. Iceworms actually have a very narrow range of temperatures that they can thrive in, and contain antifreeze proteins that offer exciting research possibilities in the field of organ transplant surgery. Some scientists have estimated that there may be more iceworms living in one glacier than there are human beings living on the entire planet. Yet, as the glaciers continue to melt due to the hottest years in recorded history, one has to wonder how much longer these strange but interesting creatures will last. Although Prouty Glacier is a relatively small one, it has quite a few crevasses. Due to last winter's heavy snowfall, most of the crevasses are still covered with snow, making their danger invisible. It is wise for climbers to always rope up on such treacherous ground. As the slope increases from 20 degrees to over 40, crampons and an ice axe also become required equipment. Climbing higher and higher up the slope, the layer of snow over the ice becomes thinner until even our crampons barely keep us from sliding back down the mountain and possibly getting seriously injured. Ascending glaciers usually involves crossing a crevasse at the top known as a bergschrund. From here, the slope increases to nearly 50 degrees as we make our final push to the summit. using all the points on our crampons to the fullest extent.
I'm going to call this steep.
Right foot, left foot, ice axe. Right foot, left foot, ice axe. This robotic rhythm becomes our mantra as we slowly continue our ascent.
The Prouty Glacier.
Hard-working leg muscles need lots of water to prevent cramping. Here, we stop to quench our thirst and take advantage of some of the purest water on the face of the earth.
$20 per bottle.
$20, yeah. We hike up, we fill a bottle, charge you 20 bucks. Hike down, bring up another bottle, fill it. I think we gotta charge more than 20 bucks a bottle, Eugen.
Yeah, it's 50 at least.
The hardest part on any route is called the crux. The crux on this route is just above the second bergschrund. Steep, open ice fields with plenty of vertical exposure require great concentration and caution in order to pass through the crux safely. Safely through the crux, the slope finally begins to flatten out again just 20 minutes shy of South Sisters summit.
This is the summit. Awesome. Woo!
It's hard to put into words the feeling of elation as we finally stand on the summit and enjoy the 360-degree view of the surrounding landscape. The wet summer rains have washed the particulates out of the atmosphere. The clarity of the sky today allows for amazing views of the Cascade Mountains as far north as Mount Adams in Washington. For our descent, we've chosen to follow the classic South Side route. On our way down, South Sisters still holds beautiful surprises. A small glacial lake is covered with icebergs of all shapes and sizes, their sharp edges sparkling in the evening sun. As our day comes to an end, a sliver of moon chases the setting sun. Shadows grow longer across the sun-cupped ice as we head back to Bend, tired, but with our mind full of unforgettable images of Central Oregon's beautiful Cascade Mountains.